If there is anything that you get from this video, it is the fact that you should be sharing your story more. You should be more vulnerable when it comes to all of the amazing things that you're doing, and you have to be consistent as well. What's going on, folks? Eddie Carrington, mayor of Flux City, and I just want to first show my appreciation for the people who watch my weekly episodes, my videos, touring different places and parts of the city, even outside of the city at times. I really appreciate you spending your time and your energy watching the videos, commenting, liking the different various content that I share throughout the year. And I had an opportunity to sit back and reflect and kind of look at when I actually started YouTube, which was back in 2019. And so I'm pretty much coming up on 6 years because I think I started YouTube back in July of 2019. And so I'm coming up on my 6 year anniversary. And I've really enjoyed the opportunity to share different things with my viewers and take you along different journeys with me and gain your perspective and your support. But I really am doing this as a hobby, and I am not necessarily looking to gain much from this other than hoping to motivate others in the real estate realm that if I can do what I'm doing, you can do it too. I really have found peace when it comes to doing these videos, editing, figuring out different content to record and share, and different stories and narratives to kind of put together and expose to my followers. And once again, I just appreciate you being here with me at this very moment, whether you were with me earlier on in the process or if you just recently joined the channel and consuming this content in one format or another. I really, really, really appreciate you. Now, with that said, I feel that the ability for us to share our story is very important. And there are so many extraordinary individuals that I come across that are doing some amazing things within their respective industries. However, a lot of people don't even know the amount of work and the scope and depth of work that they're doing within their respective fields and or hobbies. And this is my call to action to you to start sharing your story a little bit more, being a little bit more open and vulnerable with regard to what you go through on a day-to-day or weekly or monthly process, right? And so I really want you to realize that there is power and vulnerability, and with what we have access to via our cell phones, it is not hard to get things like a YouTube channel up and running, start sharing a little bit more on your Instagram channel, so on and so forth. I really do think that these authentic methods of storytelling is the future of entertainment. I don't think content creation is in a space where it's going anywhere anytime soon. I really do think we're at the very beginning, even with these YouTube content creators doing amazing things and having millions of followers. We're coming into another phase of content creation where you don't you don't need a huge following in order to make an impact. You just need to find your tribe, the group of people that you sync with, and you and your followers and or family and or network, your online network has the ability to really connect in ways that we haven't been able to in the past. And not only that, this is really a time capsule where you're going to be able to share different things with family members for generations to come about you, even when you're not of the physical in the future. And that's where there is so much value with regard to just sharing your story and getting your exposing what you actually do, who you actually are to the world. With regard to me and my focus in real estate right now, I really do come across a lot of people that are doing some really amazing things, and so I always recommend that they consider opening up their camera, hitting the record button, and making it happen. But I do want to show you a few things that I started off with when it comes to YouTube, and I really spent a ton of time, money, energy trying to figure out how to get the best content quality wise when it comes to the video side of it. I never really was lucky, and I really wasn't diligent enough when it came to the microphone side. I will show you a mic, a recording device that I have, but I really didn't use it as much as I should have. But at the very least, I want to show you the original camera that I started with YouTube, or using to try to record YouTube content with. And this is a Nikon D5300. And so I was a photographer in my past season, one of my past seasons, and I actually had a really enjoyable time being a photographer until it started to feel like a job. I had this camera and I said, what, why not try my hand at recording video with this camera? And this isn't a 4K camera, 1080p max, but it did the job. But it's clumsy and the battery is not that good, so on and so forth. So eventually I decided to purchase this weird mechanism here. And so this is the Removo 4K gimbal that did decent. It did decent, but the battery life on it wasn't the best. It was a bit clumsy. And for a while, though, this really was my go-to camera. I felt that this was a pretty unique way to capture quality content. But once again, as you can see, this attached to the bottom looks pretty weird, right? But I wasn't really diligent at keeping this with me at all times. And so in most scenarios, the sound was not really good enough. It was good enough, but it wasn't great. But I also looked at recording this content as something that should be easy, and I didn't want to be burdened carrying around a ton of equipment. So in one sense, I wasn't diligent carrying this microphone with me, but another reason why I wouldn't bring it with me is because I would assume that, hey, look, this audio is good enough. They can hear folks, they can hear the sounds, they can hear me talking, so on and so forth. So if it's good enough, we'll just roll with it. But audio is really important when it comes to your content. And so that is one thing that I do want to point out that I did not pay enough attention to. Eventually, I got tired of carrying around these cameras, and I said, "Look, I have a phone. How come my phone can't be my camera, my audio, my whole shebang?" And so eventually, I switched over. I used to have an iPhone, and I actually do have an iPhone now, but eventually I switched over to Samsung and Android. And unfortunately for Apple and iPhone, Android and Samsung more specifically is just way more advanced, especially when it comes to the video settings and options that you get with these devices. Because at one point it was an S21. Right now I got an S23 in my hand that I no longer use, because once again I have a different device now. But this really did amazing videos when it came to the content that I created for at least a year. And eventually I ended up getting this tripod here that gave me the ability to kind of keep this in my car. And if I knew I was going to be recording, I could take this with me, and it made it pretty easy to kind of carry it around and record different things with. It's a little, this overall combination is a little heavy, but it's not detrimental, right? It's not to a point where after 5 minutes I got to put my arm down. I'd say after about 20, 25 minutes I'd have to switch hands. But for over a year, maybe closer to 2 years, my main recording device was a cell phone. And that all changed as of recent when my GC, Shane with Artists and Contractors, ended up purchasing me this Osmo. And this is really, really a special device. I mean, this thing, 4K, good. It's good with sound without an external mic, but the kit that he ended up getting me came with an external mic. And this thing is, in comparison to what I have been using, it's like night and day. Really, really impressive and really appreciative that my GC thought of me and got me this. And to be honest, I made him a little bit of money, and he did an amazing job for me at the site on the east side called The Ribbon. He did an amazing job building that out. But this was a really, really good tool. He was watching my videos, and one of the things he said was, "Hey, look, your sound is a little off in so many words." And so when he purchased this kit, or when he said he saw this kit and he noticed that it came with its own microphone, he said, "Look, I think that would be a good gift, end of project gift to get you." And in fact, that this is the perfect gift. So I really appreciate you, Shane, if you're watching. Thanks for that. Thanks for that gift there. I did try to record with my iPhone here and there. Maybe I'm just not good with the settings aspect of this device. This is the latest iPhone, but the video quality is good. It's the shakiness of the video is just what I have not been able to figure out as of yet. I just wanted to really show you the fact that even if you have an iPhone, I'm not talking too much mess about an iPhone, because at the end of the day, it has cameras, does pretty well when it comes to the quality of video. And depending on the type of case you get, you may be able to get a case that has its own stand. And all you got to do is just press record. And if there is anything that you get from this video, it is the fact that you should be sharing your story more. You should be more vulnerable when it comes to all of the amazing things that you're doing, and you have to be consistent as well. Don't just share your story. Don't just share your journey once every 2, 3 years. Try your best at just being consistent. And what it is in a way, it's therapy. It really does give you an opportunity to just kind of release certain things out there. It tells people about who you are, what you've been able to accomplish, what you're working on. I have family members that watch these videos, and it's just a really, really good benefit for you to share your story and narrative and journey. And you just never know, that may motivate somebody else. Just hit the record button, and you would be shocked at the amount of benefit that it's going to bring to you, your brand, or just your overall well-being. All right, so that's enough rambling for today. And I will, in a future video, share with you how this hobby has actually churned out a bit of profit for me. I wouldn't necessarily say profit, but revenue. And the reason why I say that is the amount of money, energy, and time, mostly time, that I put into the editing and the recording of these videos. I don't necessarily know if I'm breaking even or not, but I don't really care about that. It's just more so a welcome surprise that I've been able to monetize this channel. And in the future video, I will share with you once again how much I've made. But I think that's enough rambling for now. Just once again, share your story, share your journey with everybody. And I can't wait to watch your videos and subscribe to your channel, as I hope you consider subscribing to mine. I'm Eddie. mayor of Flux City, and I'll see you in the next episode.